What's going on YouTube? It's your boy DMD, and I'm coming at you guys today with a Sky Striker deck profile for the year of our Lord 2021, and this card is now legal again. So guys, I've been playing this deck for a couple weeks now. Like, I've had it completed and I've been testing it at locals. I've been playing it pretty frequently. Like, when I touch Yu-Gi-Oh cards, this is probably the deck I've been playing with like the most. And I can say this deck is like a really good well, it's not a sleeper deck. It's kind of absent from the format right now if you look at like top meta breakdown, like pie charts. But I think this deck is really good. It's really well positioned. There are some decks that do what it's aiming to do better than it can do. But I think this deck, for what it is, it's an overall solid pick for this format. So before we begin, if you could please give this video a like, a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the profile, shall we? Alright, so guys, as I said prior to this portion of the profile, this is a blind going first list, so I will be showing you the list according to that. So, of course, we've got 3 Raye. This card is your bread and butter, obviously. I mean, it's been like 2 years. I shouldn't have to explain that. 2 Rose, I think this is quite optimal. Some people play it at 1. I don't think anybody plays it at 3. I've found that I like 2 just because sometimes you really just need to see a name to start playing. So 2 Rose. 3 copies of Ash Blossom. This is like, you know, I've said it time and time again, it's like the most generic of every hand trap you could play. 2 copies of Valor. This has 2 purposes in the deck. Number 1, it's disruption on your opponent's turn if you do end up losing the die roll. And number 2, it's your access code play. You summon this off of Hulk, then make Selene, use Selene to summon this back, and make access code. And that's pretty much it for the monsters. On to the spell cards. We have 1 copy of the reason you play the deck in the first place. This card's just like really solid. Like, if you resolve it like early game, you're probably going to be fine if you go first. Like, if you just search like 2 Widow Anchors off this, if you already have Raye. Or if you just get Sacky and rip it off Area 0, then you just kind of win. And then going second, of course, you can just draw a little bit easier, and you can just send this off Hayate if you don't open it. This card's nutty. Doubt this comes to 3. Maybe multi-roll will, but I don't think this is ever going to be a 3 again. And it probably shouldn't be. 3 copies of Area 0. I know this is going to be like one of those choices that's kind of a little bit more debatable, but honestly, this is a consistency card that lets you send whatever like you don't need in your hand, or any striker spell you can just recur with Kogari and mill your deck, like the top 3 for your deck. It's like duality, man. I don't know why you wouldn't play this at 3, other than the fact that like if you draw multiples of it, it's kind of bad. But like outside of that, honestly, this card is so good. It's probably like one of my favorite cards in the deck because the effect to duality and the effect to summon Raye from the deck, like you can do both in 1 turn. So this card has so much versatility. It's just unbelievable. 3 copies of Widow Anchor, and then 3 copies of Shark Cannon as your disruptors. These cards are incredibly versatile. This in the Tri-Brigade matchup, even though it didn't happen yesterday, it can be, you know, really strong. And then Widow Anchor to stop literally everything. Yeah, man, like being able to just take link material, like using this on a salad card, or like banishing a Jaguar with this is really strong. But you know, obviously different meta is going to be different. So, you know, these may not be, like at my locals, these cards are like godsends. So, 1 Afterburner. This card's so bad against Dragoon. Yeah, I played a deck that summoned Dragoon on me yesterday, and I had to like Ningirsu it in a really simplified game state. This card is not that good. This card, however, is it's pretty good. Just free link material, man. You can do so much with this, and it's another spell engrave, so at times it's actually almost just as good as Raye. Well, it's as good as Rose. I don't think it's as good as Raye, but you know. One multi-roll. This card is really good, but I think if Konami's going to unhit anything from this deck, it's probably going to be this card, because it's like not. It's like the backbone of the deck, but it's not like too oppressive. I don't think, at least. So if this deck continues to do nothing, I think this card will probably move up the list. One Eagle Booster makes your Striker links literally unkillable, which can come up if you're playing, you know, in a simplified game state and you just want to be able to live a turn so you can kill your opponent the next turn. Triple Desires, I was playing 2 initially because of room, but before this tournament I decided to play 3, and I do not regret it. This card is so good. It's a draw 1. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't play it at 3. 3 is definitely the correct number. 2 copies of MST, outs like Floodgates. I got Imperial ordered yesterday, and I sadly did not see this, but would have been really nice to see it. But it's there to chain to Imperial order. And you can also pop your own Area 0 with this, so that's really important. The 1 terraforming to see Area 0. The 1 reinforcement of the army to search Raye. 2 Foolish Burial Goods and a Metal Foes fusion, because we are playing that package. And then moving on to the trap cards, the final 3 hand traps are the 3 Infinite Impermanents, and then the 3 Solemn Judgment to round off the main deck. So for the extra, it's pretty linear. We've got the 3 Kagaris, we've got 3 copies of Hayate that's really good in time, but sadly we only have 2 Prismatic Secrets, and this is a super Sag. But yeah, this card's really strong. Being able to like send Engage and then add back Engage all Kagari is like, oh my gosh, it's so good. 3 copies of Shizuku, being able to add everything during the end phase is really good. 1 Kaina, this can come up because your Striker links are only so big, so sometimes you really just do need to like make sure you don't die, and this is one way that helps you do that. Zeke, sometimes you need to be able to out your own extra deck monster, like for whatever reason. Like if you want to like make access code and you have like too many Striker monsters in your MMZs and you need to engage again, you just make this. We're playing the Selene Hauk access code package, so we're playing Hauk Selene access code. And then the final one of is Ningirsu to send Dragoons. This deck definitely needed a Dragoon out, and that's why you play this. For the sideboard, this is pretty much like, there's only 1 or 2 real cards that I even went into yesterday in my side. This was not one of them. Droll, I didn't think I would play like a lot of Invoked, because at the particular the locals I go to, like there's only like 1 or 2 Invoked players. Invoked guy did not show up, so that is why. 3 Dark Ruler no more. Like there are sometimes, this also negates Dragoon, so it's really important. And then just like being able to break boards where there's too many negates, this card, you know, when Widow Anchor isn't enough, there's this card. 1 Feather Duster and then 2 Cosmics, opposing back row, Eldritch, whatever the case may be. For combo decks, Mystic Mine, we do need this, absolutely. And whenever you want to, you know, stop playing under Mystic Mine, you can just activate Area 0 on top of it, or you can even, like, I mean, you probably don't want to MST, you probably just want to activate Area 0 over it, but this card's, like, really good, and you can just sit there and poke with Hayate every single turn until time is called. It's kind of funny. and then 3 evenly matched. Resolved this a couple times yesterday against my salad opponent, who got 2-0'd swiftly, but it do be like that sometimes. But anyway, guys, that is basically it for the profile. If you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to ask them in the comments section below. And again, guys, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please be sure to do so, because sharing is caring and subbing is loving, I think. Loving. I guess. I don't know. I tried, guys. I'm sorry. But anyway, it is me, it is that DMD, and your boy is out.
You're my heartbeat, my silent drum that's kicking me till I'm numb.